Now, your piece titled Fight the Culture Wars, Libs, and subtitled Appeasement is for Losers, makes the point that values matter. In particular, conservative parties need to get their values right before they can do other things such as be good economic managers. James, most people would agree that the Liberal Party value set is solid, at least in writing. Is this a case of sending politicians back to relearn their party values?
Yes, well, today's Liberal politicians, I'm not sure they have any values, to be honest. But let's assume they do have values. It would be nice if they actually stood up for them on occasion. I mean, it's hard to think of them standing up for anything, really. Peter Dutton finally came out against The Voice, and I think I think people will have noticed that all of a sudden there's a chance that he could win the next election. He needs to do that with the new online censorship bill that Labour is trying to pass. And just to show you how few values the Liberals have, this was a Scott Morrison bill originally. It wasn't quite as bad as this. But, you know, our former Prime Minister didn't seem to believe in free speech at all. So, I mean, we need to rediscover the pre-Morrison Turnbull values. We can put it that way.
No, you're 100% right. I mean, this was my major complaint of Scott Morrison for many years, and that is he was a fan of censorship, which seems to run contrary to everything the Liberal Party stands for. Now, standing by what is right instead of what the focus group tells you takes courage. And, you know, Peter Dutton, you have to give him some praise, he did stand against the focus groups and say no to The Voice, which he is going to get some political traction on as the days and weeks and months go forward. But we're not seeing a huge abundance of courage among our politicians of late, are we?
No, at the state level, it's a desert, really. Mr. Dutton's pretty good. Angus Taylor, Hastie out in Western Australia. There's some good National Party politicians. But I think the problem is the kind of people we're pre-selecting. I mean, how is it possible that John Roscom can run for pre-selection 3 times and lose? Most recently because the opposition leader in Victoria, Mr. Pizzuto, didn't favor John Roscom because, you know, he's probably afraid that someone with a brain would be in the party room. But he favored a 22-year-old. What does a 22-year-old bring to the table when it comes to a political party? Nothing. Zero.
Well, actually, you're right there. Is there any chance that perhaps the reason that, you know, politicians and political leaders aren't picking good running mates and good party members for pre-selection is because they're a little bit jealous or perhaps worried that they might be outshone?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, when you look at the small handful of Liberals who stood up against the lockdown thuggery, you know, 2 or 3 of them have been deselected. And, you know, this is ridiculous. I don't know what they were doing up here in Queensland recently. So, yes, that is a bit of a worry. You have to, I think we need to move to the Canadian system where the party membership picks the leader. And so it doesn't matter how many Simon Birminghams and Julian Leasers you have in the party room. They don't get to pick the leader because their views are out of line with the vast majority of Liberal Party members on The Voice, on getting rid of Section 18C, on just about everything.